We always start in the meetup here with some slides with the teachings, and then after we have space for shares and questions. Nice to see everyone. Open intelligence, naturally present when we relax as what's looking, as what's seeing, and we discover open intelligence. Open intelligence naturally present. So when we recognize in open intelligence, when we recognize open intelligence for short moments, repeated many times. Oh, now I have to say that again. We recognize open intelligence for short moments, repeated many times, and we become accustomed to this. The short moment grows longer. So once we're introduced to open intelligence, we recognize open intelligence, we confirm open intelligence for short moments throughout our day and night. And yeah, we get used to it. We become accustomed to this. We gain confidence in open intelligence, and in that way, the short moments grow longer. We don't have to actually contrive short moments to grow longer. They just naturally do. And it comes later in the teachings as well, that we are not trying to get into a state or make open intelligence into a thing. We just take short moments as it is. And the crystal ball here, obviously a nice and a powerful metaphor for recognizing the indestructible essence of open intelligence. What's looking, always present, indestructible, and isn't affected by anything that appears within it. So it can be nice appearances like the sunset, or challenging, painful, intense appearances, thoughts and emotions and experiences. So all of these thoughts and emotions are recognized as the dynamic energy of open intelligence. Open intelligence and data are inseparable, like the sky and the color blue. Also a powerful metaphor, recognizing that we can't really put open intelligence here and the data here, and then sort out which are the good data or which are resting data. All data are the dynamic energy of open intelligence. So whatever we are thinking right now, even the thoughts about open intelligence and what we're feeling, sensing, all of those experiences are the energy of open intelligence. We don't really have to think about the inseparability, because then the metaphors evoke it, because the color blue in the sky can't be separated. So open intelligence is as everything, what we experience, what we can describe. And open intelligence is simply present. We are not struggling with positive or negative data. So we're not trying to have certain data, positive data. Usually we want to have the positive thoughts and experiences, and try to get rid of the negative data. And instead we take a short moment of open intelligence when we see we are struggling with the data, with the thoughts and emotions. The powerful choice in every moment is to rely on open intelligence, to recognize it, even if initially it feels like, what is it? How should that feel like? Sometimes just taking short moments of open intelligence without looking at the quality of it was always a powerful instruction and support in my own experience. We come to realize that nothing need be done to alter the natural flow of data. Data are the liveliness and power of open intelligence itself. So that becomes more and more clear also with gaining confidence in open intelligence, that nothing need to be done about the flow of data. Data are unpredictable, they're countless, and we with more and more familiarity and confidence in open intelligence, we see that we don't actually need to fight and struggle and manage all our thoughts and emotions, seeing it as the liveliness of open intelligence. And because trying to get rid of them, we're also trying to get rid of the energy of open intelligence, the energy that can be used to be of benefit to all, can be used to respond to situations, to respond to in a relationship to ourselves and others.
It makes no difference what data, thoughts, emotions, and sensations arise. In open intelligence, it is impossible for there not to be a soothing openness in which they vanish naturally, leaving no trace, like ripples disappearing in water. At that point, in the wake of their vanishing, identify open intelligence relaxed and enormously potent. Yeah, so instead of looking at the content of our data, we look at their dynamic. We look at their pattern, and all data share the same pattern. They arise, they hang out for a bit, at least it seems like that, and then they vanish, leaving no trace. Um, and even like data of like spiritual data, you might call them, or data that we think, oh wow, that's it, I have arrived. Whenever we feel that way, the only thing we can be completely sure of is that also that is data and it will pass. So whatever data it is, the best response to data, as we have gone through in the meetups before, in the most important choice, the best response to data is to recognize their essence, to recognize that they are like the ripples in water, like the breeze in the air, and they arise and they vanish naturally. So in that way, also data that arises around our practice, like when you wonder, am I practicing correctly? That's a good one to invest into, just a direct instinctive moment of recognition of open intelligence and seeing that even this thought of I don't know how to practice this arises in, of, as, and through open intelligence. And similarly, we with oh wow, like I'm I'm enlightened. I know many of you ever had that thought. Also, that thought arises in, of, as, and through open intelligence. So always coming back to a short moment of instinctive recognition is very powerful. And then we recognize this open intelligence in that moment and how relaxed and enormously potent it is. Fear, anger, irritation, relationship issues, money worries, food, jealousy, pain continue to arise and flow on by. Open intelligence saturates all reified data continuously as it becomes increasingly obvious to us that all data are potent beneficial energy. So none of these data are evidence that we're doing anything wrong. They're just the dynamic energy of open intelligence, and they continue to arise. The only thing that changes in our experience is that they become less and less of a distraction. So initially, it seems like fear is an obstacle, like we don't know maybe how to practice with fear. Over time, we become accustomed to see fear as a strong energy that's an opportunity to practice. And we then know how to practice. And then more and more, as we continue to do that, more and more fear doesn't become, or any of the other ones doesn't even become that moment anymore where we need to choose. We instinctively recognize that also this is the shining forth of open intelligence without trying to do so. We no longer imagine that open intelligence is a special state or a destination we need to reach. We instinctively recognize that all data are the dynamic energy of open intelligence. Negative, positive, and neutral data flow on by, shining with open intelligence as pure beneficial energy. All data are the self-arising benefit of open intelligence. This is education in the nature of mind. Yeah, beautiful. I don't even have anything to say. This is perfect.
Okay. We are gentle with ourselves. Oops, sorry. We are gentle with ourselves, allowing open intelligence and its beneficial powers to become obvious very naturally, in their own perfect way, recognizing that there really is no final point to arrive at, no destination at all. Open intelligence's beneficial powers just grow brighter and brighter without end. Never underestimate the power of a short moment. So, yeah, it's a very strong paragraph here. The part about gentle with ourselves is important, that we not try to get somewhere, and that we not try to make open intelligence into something like beneficial powers, try to look for it, make ourselves wrong for not feeling beneficial, not feeling powerful, and and then hoping we will arrive somewhere. Sometimes we feel we have arrived somewhere, and then most of the time we feel we have to get somewhere. Uh, that that is called open intelligence, and feel more confident in that. And all of these ideas and data, which are it's natural to have those, but then we are reminded to not underestimate the power of that single short moment that is just right here. Like this short moment right here is equally powerful than the next short moment, and the short moment that feels great, and the other short moment that feels the intensity of suffering. So it is like a powerful reminder to just take one short moment at a time, and trust naturally that there's an unfolding of beneficial intent that is inseparable from open intelligence, which is everyone here and everywhere, so that everyone is naturally beneficial, and that these kinds of aspects of open intelligence open up just by gaining confidence in open intelligence. And some are going through the 12 empowerments, and and without trying to look for the beneficial powers, we are guided through taking short moments, seeing all our relationships and belief systems that make ourselves and small, unworthy, or anything at all, and and then recognize all the difficulties we might have in relationships, including the relationship with ourselves, and empower open intelligence, warmth, openness, and love, not as a thing, but harmonizing everything within ourselves. And in that, naturally, these beneficial powers just grow brighter and brighter without end, because there's no destination, so we don't need to actually, yeah, even effort to get further, because there's always we always can do more. It's like even in conventional ways, we're never really done with our to-do lists. So it's like there's no destination to that. So we can might as well relax right now. Same with the to-do list of gaining confidence in open intelligence. It just might as well just take that short moment and recognize the richness of that. Yeah. Okay, well, I guess we will pause here for today and then have shares. Maybe those who are doing the 12 empowerments could share on which empowerment they are and how that's going. That might be powerful to hear. If you'd like to share, yes. Would, Amanda, how's it going for you? Would you like to share?
Um, yeah, I'm had a thing. I've got builders at the moment. They've just started, and everything went very badly wrong yesterday. All the drawings were wrong, but I remembered something about having a short moment, even if the body or the data was kind of scared, terrified. So I was terrified about it because look, like it's not, we're going to have to stop work, going to cost me lots of money. And so I just tried with that, like letting the body be as it is, the human, the data as it were, but kind of resting in open intelligence at the same time. And that did seem to um, uh, strengthen the connection with open intelligence. It didn't necessarily, the fear was still there, but I was sort of working with both being there, like I can be there, or the sense of the short moment, open intelligence being there, and that still being here, if that makes sense. So I found, and then I took a longer short moment, a long moment then. What, because I was quite scared. I went to the beach because I lived near the sea, and I was taking a short moment, and in a way, the being scared made the short moment more vibrant, if that makes sense. So that stayed with me a bit more. So I was able to get, then I was more in a sort of meditative, not but more in a spacious place. But it felt like the terrified helped me get there a bit. It's a bit difficult to explain. But I was, yeah, so yeah, but I'm interested in what you said, Kathy, when I wrote to you about now starting Empowerment 4 and about patterns changing, because, I've got a whole thing, oh, I should do this, shouldn't do that so much, should change this. So, I mean, because obviously as a human being, you might want to change things about yourself, like watching less YouTube or less violent films on Netflix. And but it's like how to do that with short moments. Like, I know in the slide we just read, it was like, yeah. So I'm curious if you have anything more to say about that intersection between wanting to change human things and
Hmm.
yeah.
Well, yes, thank you for sharing. And first of all, it's powerful to see that when sometimes we have very strong, intense feelings and fears like that, that it's a more it's a powerful reminder to take a short moment, and we can actually see the power of that even more for some. So that was great to see, and so there is something beneficial in these difficult circumstances. Mm.
Mm,
Um, and then what you mentioned about the patterns and the habits that we want to change, it's really helpful, like we all did when we go through Empowerment 1 to 3. We also, especially Empowerment 1 shows how difficult it is to change our behavior and our patterns. Try to change them, make them better, and then it goes back and our struggle with dealing with data. So the empowerments 4 to 9 basically coming up now are in depth going through all of our pattern belief systems. We can call it pattern, right? It's just a label on behaviors. And but data, we can say data, but it's good sometimes to actually be specific, but pattern data. So you look at that all belief systems, and instead of trying to get a better set of them, data, a better set of data, we we actually choose open intelligence. But you know, we we take a short moment while we are actually watching endless Netflix and scrolling through our phone, and recognizing open intelligence there is very powerful. So open intelligence is not like a license to do anything and so on, but it's part of the practice to actually maintain and take short moments with the patterns we really want to change. And so also those are the dynamic energy of open intelligence. Also those are entirely beneficial, not in its descriptions, because we can't, that's what Empowerment 2 introduces, that everything is entirely beneficial, but then how is all the negativity in ourselves or in the world beneficial? So that is where it's instinctively gonna be more and more obvious. And that's what Empowerment 4 to 9 will open up, right? The power of open intelligence in all data, including the data we want to get rid of, patterns. And then seeing how the beneficial powers, and which could be called wisdom, could be called beneficial response, the way we compassion, love, natural way of just you might see suddenly that patterns fall away and you didn't even do anything, and then you'll see that some patterns don't fall away, and you get really confident in open intelligence while there are patterns that you still feel like, wow, I'm gonna struggle all my life with this, right? And then there are some things, there are certain things that we can see, oh, this is really not so good for me. I might take an additional support here, So or we have something physical, or I might go to the doctor. It's not like an extreme, but this is the beneficial response, right? Which then Empowerment 9 completes that, where we can't take open intelligence to any extreme of we don't do anything, or we all the time try to change something. Or it won't be in the categories we set up, or it might be, but most likely it won't be, because the category is the all-encompassing category of open intelligence view. So yeah, I guess what is most powerful and is to go through the empowerments, even if we don't understand everything, which I've done, like all in my own experience of gaining confidence. There were always many questions until there were none anymore. And there might be still questions, but they are not necessary to be answered immediately to know open intelligence. But certain kind of questions, they come in your own experience, will be answered in such depth. But it's still good to ask them. That's why we put space for, so it's great. But yeah, so that's about the patterns, because yeah, great. I think, is there anything else that comes to you, right?
Are you saying that like some patterns, because obviously it's the mind that's deciding which patterns are currently, the mind is going, those are good patterns, those are bad patterns, get rid of that data, this is good data, but it's the mind deciding it. And the idea with open intelligence is we don't know, maybe, but if you take a short moment, maybe while doing the thing, whatever it is, something might come or not.
Yeah, Yeah,
It's just hard holding the sense of Candice talking about beneficial, it will be beneficial. So there's obviously a concept of beneficial, but then there's the sense of all data is open intelligence, but some is more beneficial than others, kind of thing. Like you will act beneficially for all, but
yeah,
that has to come from not the thinking mind.
yeah. Well, the thinking mind also will think, and it might,
Mm,
like there's no separation from, but it's probably good. What you're saying is it comes from open intelligence. It comes from knowing open intelligence instinctively, knowing what to do.
mm,
Still, everything is beneficial. And I think you had this glimpse of seeing how this negative day yesterday was beneficial. We make it practical because
mm,
on a theoretical level, we could discuss probably forever. But you
mm,
seeing that yesterday there was a moment of beneficial that was beneficial,
mm.
gaining confidence in open
It
intelligence. That's
was very
the
beneficial.
descriptions don't need to turn beneficial because somebody messing something up and this may be costing money, that might be beneficial, who knows? But we don't need to
Mm,
discuss about it in those descriptive level.
mhm,
You might say it even, well, this was
mhm,
a great experience.
mm.
And
Yeah,
you know, we never know what it is good for, but here
no.
it's more talked about the beneficial nature of everything being open intelligence. You can definitely gain confidence. That's good.
Mm,
hmm
okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, mm, that's the basic um, benefit that we can see in our experience. It's always good that we can prove it all in our experience. Yeah. Great. Let's see. Okay, that's anyone else would like to share about the 12 empowerments, having done it or being in the middle somewhere?
Can I share something?
Yes, yes, hello, Sylvia.
Yes, just yesterday, my empowerment call, the trainer asked, we are at empowerment 8. Can I speak about empowerment 8? Okay.
Yes.
That is, specifically about relationship. And the trainer asked, can you say something about how empowerment 8 made some benefit for you in these years? And I thought about this, and I can say that, first of all, my relationship with my parents and my family, it's much better. I am not anymore in this mood of have rights, but it is easier. It is easier to relate. And even with myself, I learned to be gentle with myself. That is something that you always, listen in the train. We are repeating that we could be gentle with ourselves, but I didn't realize what what really is to be gentle with ourselves. I couldn't realize without the support of the community, the trainer, the teaching, because we think that to be gentle with ourselves means, at least it was for me, to gain whatever you like or to do whatever you like, or I had this idea, but But to be gentle with ourselves is for me something that is life-changing because it means really to behave toward ourselves with, so much compassion and kindness, without judging, without feeling best or worst. It is not so easy. But when I realize what it does really means, it was something completely incredible, really. And now I can say that I am very happy about relationship with myself and with others. And it can happen that, I still have some kind of reaction that are not nice. But while it took me weeks, sometimes even months, many years ago to calm down, and then I am Italian. um, Now, it took 5 minutes and then I just, and so I can say with my son, for example, with my son now, he's also very gentle with me. He kissed me for the good night, and it didn't happen since he was 6 years old. He's 22, and I can see this improvement that they happen slowly but steady, and one day you realize that, everything is different. So it takes patience, it takes, support. You needed the support. I needed the support for sure. And but I can say that it worked for me. So I am very happy to have the chance to be here with you today.
Oh,
Grazie.
that's so beautiful. Thank you. That was very
Hanno sbagliato.
touching to hear. Thank you. Powerful and heart touching. Thank you for being here. Great. Yes. And Tom, how is it going for you? If you can speak.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, let's see if the connection works.
Yeah, okay. Because I'm on the train right
Yeah,
now from work, so it's might be a bit difficult.
that works.
Okay. How's it going? Yeah, I guess sort of,
Maybe
I just completed.
okay, yeah. Try again. Perfect. Yeah, you
Okay.
completed.
Yeah, I completed Parliament 3. I'm now busy with 4, and yeah, lots of questions in that empowerment. To say, but yeah, what mainly comes up my journey at the moment is just like Sylvia told, the compassion for myself, the people around me. Yeah, that is something that is starting to improve. I guess. Yeah, like I mentioned sometimes before, there is yeah, I do have some physical struggles, and I know that a time ago I would be totally upset. I would be totally sort of probably depressed about something like that. And it's not going well, but I seem to have a yeah, a way of dealing with it. I guess short moments is that way that helps me, I guess.
That's great. Great. Wonderful. Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing that. That's great for empowerment 3. Just wait. It's great. And 4, of course, it has. Yeah, it's a quite a empowerment, but it's a good one. Yeah, great. No, thank you, Tom.
Yeah.
Hmm. Great. Any other questions or shares? Paul, yes, Paul, where are you at and how are you doing?
Hello, everyone. I'm in the middle of, or actually about to finish up Empowerment 12, and I don't know that I have the superlatives here to describe the whole experience. Every empowerment has been like, this has got to be the best one out of all 12. And now here I am saying that about 12. It's really transformed my uh, life and understanding. I'm having breakthroughs with my wife that I didn't think were possible. Um, and Clearly, uh, to have an understanding that all this data that inundates my thinking and emotions and experiences, to understand that that's simply open intelligence on display, and look for the benefit in it, and to start finding the benefit, and have that release and that relief. And there's new joy. There's more laughter in my life now than uh, it's really been phenomenal. I'm excited about the possibilities going forward. How does the benefit that I can bring to myself, my family, my community, my world, to this group, um, how might that be? It'll be interesting to see how it manifests, how it shows up. I'm kind of at a, I'm kind of handling it this way. Correct me if I'm wrong. If if I can go on to be about the most dynamic and miraculous activity that touches the world, that'd be great. If I end up being Mr. Mundane for the rest of my life, that's okay too. I'm just going to be open and available moment by moment, listening up and grateful.
It's beautiful. Thank you so much. That's really,
You're welcome.
it's powerful and beautiful. Thank you for sharing. Great. Oh yeah, I see. I don't know, Wendy, if you can speak. I see you're in the process of the empowerments too, but maybe can't speak today.
Let me see. Are you there?
Yes.
Oh, hi.
Hello.
I'm just in the, was finishing up with something, but I'm listening and very inspired by what everyone shared. I guess it's, I guess I'm thinking to myself, I really wanted to take my time with Empowerment 3, but I had a lot of situations come up, challenging ones this week, and I realized it may be more important for me to move along, well, just engage more every day, because it then helps me to remember to take short moments. Because I'm with a bit of concern, it amazes me that I can be in the midst of something like, taxes or something with a deadline that's of seemingly very big importance for survival. Like, I don't know why. On the one hand, it is, and on the other hand, um, I don't even know. I was just thinking that I've taken a little time to answer the questions in I'm in empowerment 3 each day rather than trying to tackle it all at once. And I noticed that's helpful because then I can sit with those a bit during the day. And I guess one of the things I wanted to ask was, is it normal just to forget, I mean, completely forget that short moments even exist for hours at a time? Like, it startles me when I remember and I think, I did not even know. There was no place in my awareness that any of this existed, and now I'm just remembering. That's frightening. And is,
Of course.
is that normal?
Of course, very much so. Only some hours, that's good. It could be days. And it's great that you remember. I mean, that's great. That is just to acknowledge completely. That one moment of remembering undoes everything in that moment. So all is well. And the other insight is also powerful. It is actually great to move with the empowerments. Yeah, it's great to let it settle, but the being in touch with it, maybe even with the text, with the video, with the media, in some ways, every day is helpful in the beginning because then the remembering comes more often. But like I said, can be days go by and then you remember, and that's powerful too. Nothing ever happened. Everything is recognized in that moment.
I'm glad to hear that.
Hmm.
I remember this. The one teacher said something. I'm just remembering it now. And he said, you just have to think, what grace that you remember at all. Like,
Yeah.
what if we were beings that there would be no, that we like, what is it that's remembering too, right? I guess it doesn't matter. Candace would say it doesn't matter. But I guess I really should just be glad that I do remember eventually.
Yeah, that is the best. Yeah, that you can
Yeah.
be totally.
One other thing is I notice in any practice I've ever undertaken that I have some maybe early on real aha moments. And as you say, I think to myself, oh, okay, I get it now. I figured this out. This is how I do it. This is how I slide into short moments and to really experience them. And and I think privately to myself, I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to break the spell, but I've got it. And then it doesn't work anymore. Then my mind tells me, oh, that's ridiculous, right? Then whatever, and I know that I imagine Candace might say, well, that's, like that's a device, that's a contrivance. Um, but I am at the moment, I'm at the place where I'm not so easily sliding into the delicious feeling of it. But I take comfort in what you have said several times, which is even if it doesn't feel great, practicing it, just trying, it is doing something.
Yeah, yeah. That's exactly the powerful insight there. Even if it doesn't feel interesting, no good insights, nothing much happening, continue on. That's also part of Empowerment 3. Continue on, taking all the four mainstays. meaning the text, listening, coming here, which you're doing. Showing up is all that's needed to the 12 empowerments and to this meeting. That's all that is needed, nothing else. And continue with the empowerments. Nothing big has to happen, and everything happens from there.
Say that last sentence again. Nothing what?
Nothing big has to happen. And
Yeah.
that is really powerful too, because it's good that how you realize first there are lots of insights, it sounds exciting, and then it flats down and it doesn't work. Okay, I'm going, letting it. And that's the point to take another short moment and show up. Because that needs to be part, that's the data pattern. If something is exciting, that pattern we can see in all kinds of ways, relationships with anything exciting.
That's so true. That's so true.
Yeah, that's data pattern. Yeah, so, and now we want to integrate open intelligence into the boring, nothing's happening, it's not working data. Because then you're truly free, recognizing, not dependent on anything.
That is such a good point, Kathy. Just that happens in every single area of life, not just this.
Yeah.
And the things where you make progress are the ones where you just, well, I'm going to do this anyway, even if I'm not really in the mood, or it doesn't seem like it seems like I'm not doing well at it today. You just move forward, and then you look back, as perhaps Tom said, you look back on it and you think, wow, things have changed. So that's not that I guess, of course I would like things to change, but I guess the really reason I'm committed is because I know it's true. Everything in me knows it's true. It's the truest that I've found. So I want to give it my all because it is true. Why would I give my all to anything that was not true, even though I do all day, every day? So it's not that I'm expecting it to change my life. That would be nice, but it's that there's only one direction to go, and that's towards truth for me in my heart. So thank you. I will keep on. I wasn't considering not at all.
Yes, that was clear. Yeah.
But
Perfect.
it's very nice to hear. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing. Yeah, that's powerful. Great. Anybody else who would like to? Before we question or yes, Rob?
It's been interesting in the last few weeks, I guess, that I'm not, how am I going to put this? It's not that I don't want to take short moments, but it seems like they have, like before, it was very spontaneous, so to speak, and I wouldn't even have to remind myself to take a short moment. But the way I gauge it is, it seems to me that as long as I'm remaining calm and peaceful, and all of a sudden I'll remember, oh, I haven't taken a short moment. But it's not like I need to take a short moment and I better take a short moment, because it feels good. It's more like the short moment isn't happening as much, and I'm not quantifying it. I'm just saying it isn't in my experience. And consequently, it seems that to me, that I'm still remaining calm. I'm not uptight about things. And so that's the way I started to look into, why. I didn't even ask why. I said, it's just interesting that they're not coming, that I'm not, taking the short moments. And as I said, my gauge, if there is one, that I'm not tense, I'm not fearful, I'm not like I have it was funny. I've had a lot of dental work in the last 3.5 months. And I've had to get I had to get a denture, and there's a partial, and they haven't been fitting right. And my sister, who's a little older than I am, she said, I don't know how you do it. And I said, do what? And she says, you don't even seem upset about it. They're not fitting right, or they can't chew all the time because they're not in. And I said, and I don't want any praise for it. My wife says to me sometimes, I'm so sorry you have to go through it. And I go like, what are you sorry about? I mean, I'm cool with it. That's all that matters. And it'll get fixed when it does. And it's interesting because I had to go back to the dentist. I had extractions and they all had to heal. And so now the gal says, well, we're going to make you new dentures. And I said, how much will it cost? And she said, it'll cost nothing. So, I mean, what do I have to complain about? I've chewed all my life, so now I'm not able to chew as much. So I substituted that for I do, what do you call it? Smoothies. I do. And they taste wonderful. So I'm still eating, my digestive system's working right. So why be unhappy? I mean, it just doesn't make sense,
Short
so anyway,
moments of smoothies, huh? Short moments of smoothies. Yeah, great. Yeah.
That's right, I
But
do.
yes, it is really true. Like the short moments you'll notice, because we are not like obsessively thinking about short moments all the time. At one point, everyone, no matter how long we know the teaching, there are instinctive short moments already happening. And they become more and more obvious and noticeable. So that's good. Yeah.
It's almost like a phenomenon that not that I'm staying calm and not taking them, because I don't want to rely on short moments to stay calm. But it's just interesting that it's happened now, and I'm at ease, I'm at peace,
Yeah.
So that's
we never know what's next, and that's perfect that we instinctively, take short moments,
right.
and can also with the positive times, right? And as you're showing, it's not only positive with your entire dental work there, but you're seeing
Yeah.
your ability to be with the dog. Yeah, thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Great. Well, thank you, everyone. It was good to be together.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great to see you all.
Thank
Good
you.
seeing each of you.
Take care.